1990 album, Edutainment, right? He entertains and educates our troops around the world and has been described as, quote unquote, the closest thing there is in entertainment to a sure thing. Get your cure from the dating doctor and improve the social climate around you starting right now. May I present to some and introduce to others. Y'all clap it up, make them feel real good. The dating doctor, Mr. David Coleman!
Don't you dare leave. Come on over here. Folks, I know for 2 days now she's been doing everything from transitioning you to getting you where you are to entertaining you to, and it's easy for you to get lost with everything else that's happening, that the person who holds it all together and gets you motivated for every session, it's easy to forget what that person's actually doing. She's basically emceeing an entire conference. If you think that's easy, it's not. Would you give Tish a huge, huge round of applause? She's doing a fabulous job. And thank you. Thanks so much. There is something that I say when I do my leadership program, and I was going to do that today too, and then Josh said, no, do this one, and you can do something else tomorrow, but there's something I say, and that's this. People, very few people are willing to work as hard as necessary and to make the sacrifices necessary to be as successful as they want to be. I'm going to repeat what I just said. Very few people are willing to make the sacrifices necessary, be here, and work as hard as necessary, be here and be involved and ask questions and take notes to be as successful as they want to be. Especially your generation, folks. I want it now. Swipe left, swipe right. Okay, well, I want it now. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to every presenter, but most importantly, it's going to make a difference in your life that you came to Circle of Change. Do me this favor. Turn to people all around you, beside you, and turn them front and back. Thank them for being here. Please, thank each other for being here. All right. We have less than an hour to be together, and then you're going to switch and go network, and the other group's going to come in here and speak. So here's what I'm going to say. Sit up straight, please. Sit up straight. Shake out your arms. Take in a nice deep breath. Neck one way, neck the other way. Turn to the people on both sides of you and say, you look fabulous. All right. Be ready to go. I have 4 rules whenever I speak to a group. The first rule is called the food rule. Now, because we have Nestle outside with table full of chocolate, I'm going to let them be your food for today. But if you think that someone else in the room says something bright, insightful, or meaningful, and you want to reward each other's brilliance, just say out the word food, and I will throw them fictitious food. On the count of 3, the word food. 1, 2, 3. Number 2, you're the stars of the show. When I have to stop and clap for you because you're brilliant, or if I have to stop and laugh because you're that much fun, those are incredibly fun shows for me. I've done 3,500 shows across the world, college campuses, high schools, conferences. I entertain our troops all over the world. And when an audience makes me stop and laugh, or an audience makes me want to stop and clap for them, those are really fun and special shows for me. Number 3, I think you're going to see very quickly, I'm pretty candid, I'm pretty direct, I'm pretty honest. Here's the reason why. I don't believe that you've given up valuable time out of your life today to have me stand up here and tell you things you want to hear. Some of you might hear things that you need to hear. That's never easy. And I've never said this to an audience before, but I'm going to say it today. I take my job very seriously. When I come to a campus and I'm trying to impact positively the relationships, the dating, the social climate on a college campus, I'll tell you why. Because if I'm traveling one more day across this world and I stop and I see some people gather around a television in the airport because there was another campus shooting, and they start interviewing people knowing that person, and they go, oh yeah, there was a bad breakup last week. They wanted to date this person, they wanted to date that person, they got rebuffed. And that's one of the reasons that the campus violence happened. I'm on a mission to stop it. It's up to us to get back to our college campuses and teach people about healthy relationships. If they're going great, how to make them better. If they're in a bad relationship, how to exit gracefully. And you know what, folks? Every single one of you has a type. Every one of you has a type. And so it doesn't mean that every person that approaches you or that wants your love or affection or attraction back is going to get it. And we've got to learn how to deal with the fact that not everyone wants to spend the rest of our lives with us. It doesn't mean we need to harm other people. So let's do this together. And number 4, at any point in time throughout this program, when I am not speaking, I don't want you to jump over top of me, or if one of your peers has the stage, please don't jump over top of them. But if we hit a lull, I don't hit many lulls, but if we hit a lull, and you want to ask a question, you simply say, David, I need some advice. I'll stop what I'm doing. I'll answer your question. On the count of 3, David, I need some advice. 1, 2, 3. Very nice. Important for you to know who I am as a person. I don't care what you are. I care about you a great deal. I took a bunch of flights yesterday, drove over, got here late, got a little bit of sleep, woke up this morning. I'm here with you. This is one of my last appearances of 119 school and conference tour and base tour this fall. I care about you being here, but I don't care what you are. I don't care if you're gay, straight, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, experimenting, confused. Whatever's happening in your social, romantic, or sexual life behind your hopefully closed doors is fine with me. I don't care. Whatever floats your boat floats mine. Believe me, I've had hundreds of clients. But I think it's important for you to know where I come from as a person. I've never been in a same-sex relationship with another guy. I happen to think that women are incredibly wonderful. There's nothing wrong with that. It just wasn't my preference. And just a little bit over a year ago, we just celebrated our anniversary. I was able to marry the love of my life. We got married July 26th. She was at Circle of Change here last year. She's even more beautiful inside. She couldn't be with me. But she understands this. I don't care what you are. So can I tell you exactly what happens between two men romantically? Not exactly. I'd be a hypocrite to tell you that. I've never walked that path. I've had hundreds of gay clients. I'm pretty dialed in. Have I dated another guy? No. I've never been a lesbian. So can I tell you exactly what happens? Well, I haven't been. So can I tell you exactly what happens between two women? No. Hundreds of lesbians, several transgender clients. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to talk about men, things that turn men on, how to tell if a guy is interested in you. If you prefer men, I would focus on that part of the show. I will then switch gears and talk about women, things that turn women on, how to tell if a woman is interested in you. If you prefer women, I'd focus on that part of the show. If your door swings both ways, which is fabulous, just keep listening, all right? Can I hear the word deal? Deal? Bottom line of my programs, whenever I speak, I don't care if it's on dating and relationships, I don't care if it's leadership, I really don't, until you become the right person. And folks, I'm very observant. I'm a little clairvoyant. I'm very observant. I'm a little intuitive. I've been watching you now since I've been here at Circle of Change, and I'm watching during blocks and when people are going through programs and all sit over there. I've watched some of you look at each other and go, huh. Huh. But at the same moment, you know what I also heard you do in here? I heard you say, I'm not handsome enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm the wrong race, I'm the wrong religion, I don't go to the right school, they are already taken, they won't want me. That's called, and by the way, when you go out, when you're out here at these tables, none of them get to see, they won't want me. Every one of you is wanted, and I'll talk about it in just a minute. So what's that mean? It means that negative self-fulfilling prophecy crap. See, folks, look up for just a moment. If you face only one obstacle in your life, but you doubt yourself, you've outnumbered yourself. Being a successful college student or college administrator, whatever you are in this room, it's hard enough without doubting yourself. Having a wonderful relationship, no matter what your preference, that's not easy. Getting good grades, having a stellar run in a job, that's not easy. But that negative self-fulfilling crap, that crap we put up here, it's got to stop, and it's got to stop today. Turn to the people around you, in front of you, behind you, beside you, point at each other, look at each other in the eyes and go, it stops and it stops today. Do it, please. In fact, listen up for a moment. In fact, here's what I want to happen. Later today, you've still got more conference to go to. Later tonight, all of us will finally get ready to pass out. We will give up on today. It will finally have taken its toll. Tomorrow morning, we will all wake up. Some of you will shower, some of you will not. Some of you will brush your hair, some of you will not, and some of you will brush your teeth, some of you will not. Then I want every single one of you, and you might think that I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. I want every single person in this room to wake up tomorrow, look in the mirror, look back at themselves and say, I would so date me. Let me hear it. 3, 2, 1. A little slower, more emphasis on the so. 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, that's your new mantra. Do you know why? Because if you're not your own greatest walking ambassador, if you would not choose to date you, now some of you are going, I've been dating myself for quite a while. I understand that. But if you wouldn't choose to date yourself, how can you expect anyone else to want to date you? You can't. I am not a new age lunatic, I promise you. But what you throw out comes back. And after hearing me speak today, and if we spend a little bit of time together, if I ever come to campus and we spend time with your campus, I want people to think differently about themselves, and I'll show you how that can work in just a minute. Let's talk about pickup lines. Why? Because unfortunately, as I walk the planet, I see that they still exist. Why do pickup lines exist? Pickup lines exist because one person finds another person attractive, and they don't have enough tact or diplomacy or game than to walk up to them and say, Red Rover, come here and bend over. And they think that's going to work. Okay, it's not going to work. Why? Because of something that I call the theory of attraction. On the count of three, the word 1, 2, 3. I don't care what campus you're from. I don't care. I've heard we're all the way from Maine to here to everywhere. Texas, I've heard. Every one of you, at least one day on your campus, beautiful day, you were walking across campus, you saw somebody else. Would you stop and say, You were sitting in class. Who came in and sat 2 seats away? You were sitting having dinner. Who sat 2 tables away? You went in the sports center. Who was in there looking fine? You were doing your laundry at midnight. Who walked in? What is a A is someone who stops you dead in your tracks. They don't even know that you're checking them out. But quietly to yourself or out loud, you're thinking, that one could be for me. Don't lie to me. Turn to each other and go, don't lie to him. Do it, please. Turn to each other and say, don't lie to him. Don't lie to me. Stop right there. Don't lie to me. How many of you in this room have ever seen a Hands. Hands down. How many of you have said hello to at least one Hands. Hands down. How many of you pulled this move? There's your You stood back here and did nothing. You watched someone else walk up to your talk to your bond with your walk away with your leaving you going How many of you have done it? Turn to each other and go, that stops too. Do it, please. You know how? You know how it's going to stop? I'm going to teach every one of you in this audience how to become what I call a fat penguin. Why? Because fat penguins break the ice. Now, is that... You're welcome. Thank you. Is that a horrible analogy? The answer is what? Yeah, it's pretty atrocious. Here's what I'm actually saying to you, and can we just have a moment of focus? This is your right here. Can I hear it? Every single day, you fail to let this person know that you have an interest in them. It gives them a day to meet someone else romantically and not meet you, and I think that stinks. It's not going to happen anymore. Throughout the program, every once in a while, you're going to see pop up on the screen an actual pickup line that I've heard another person use in public. I wrote it down. It was just so horrible I had to write it down, and I don't endorse them. There are just idiots out there. The first one is, hey, baby, they call me the love pirate, so give me all your booty. You smell because you're the shit. And then if Peter were measuring milk, you'd be a cow. Can I highly suggest that we never compare another person to a large farm animal? Can I hear yes, David? Thank you so much. Folks, I don't care what age you are. I don't care what part of life you're in. I don't care. When in doubt, stay out of their room. Stay out of their apartment. Stay out of their home. When in doubt, stay out. If you don't know what you are physically, romantically, sexually, stay out of their room. 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Stay the hell out of their room. And ladies, where are you at? Where are all my ladies? Give me half a wave. Ladies, I don't care if the man is straight, gay, or bi. I don't care. I'm going to repeat it. I don't care if the man is straight, gay, or bi. Ladies, if you get a text message after midnight, any of the 7 days of the week, and that text message says, hey, baby, what's up? The answer is his penis. Do we all understand that? I don't care what. Be careful. Now, this is not David Coleman speaking to a room full of people. This is all of us together. Do you understand this? It is all of our jobs now to create what is called a campus culture of consent. What does it mean to have mutual consent? That means before a couple starts to get physically romantic, all the way up to and including intercourse, they have adult-like conversations. Can I kiss you? Can I touch you? Can I more than kiss you? Can I more than touch you? And the words that you get back, the answer you get back, has to be mutual, affirming, and enthusiastic. It has to be freaking enthusiastic. You can laugh at me, but if you say to somebody, you go, want to have sex? And they're like, yeah, you shouldn't. Laugh all you want. Until you end up from the dean of students office, they're going, you're in trouble. And you're like, I got consent. It really should be, yeah. yeah. And I want to do, okay, you really should be careful. You can never assume that you have someone else's consent. Never. If they're under the influence of drugs or alcohol, they can't grant you consent. So you end up in front of the Dean of Students' office, and the Dean of Students is going, you're in trouble. You're like, I am not in trouble. I got consent. If they are under the influence of drugs or alcohol, they can't consent to it. It's not legal. If you are under the influence of drugs or alcohol, you can't ask for it. A couple of other things. Agree on a safe word. What is a safe word? I think we all understand that the safest words are stop, please, I don't want to do that, I'm uncomfortable. No, we get those are safe words. Couples who are highly physically involved with each other, up to and including intercourse, often have what's called a safe word. It's a word that they throw out there where they go, whoa, let's take a break, chill out, can we have a breather? Some couples use a color, red, green, blue, Santa. I don't care what that word is, but when that word is thrown out, it means pause, take a break, let's collect ourselves. Do we really want to go that far? And then maybe what makes it harder to be a college student now than ever before, when Tish and I and others were in college, this wasn't the case, but it is now. We're all interveners versus bystanders now. What does it mean to be an intervener? It means it's all about family. Some of you know that some of your friends are feeling horrible about themselves because they haven't been on a date since Moby Dick was a guppy. All right? And they feel really down about themselves, or they're dating someone who's highly abusive, or they just went through a horrible breakup. Many years ago, we could go, didn't notice their problem. Not anymore. We did notice. And if you're willing to come to something like this and put in these hours and involve yourselves, and I've seen you all doing this, I've seen you all bettering yourselves, it means that we go back to campus and we help our friends and people that we know and who need it to get help. We get them help. Here's what else I think it means. Those of you who go to a party together, I think you should come back from a party together. 5 or 6 of you go to a party together, and you've been there enough time, and people are ready to go, and maybe some young lady says, no, I found a way home. No, you're coming home. You might go back out, but you're coming home with us. Why? Because I truly believe now it's all about family for all of us. Meeting other people. You may not know this, but one of the things that I got to do in my life that was really fun is when the movie Hitch came out, my life so closely paralleled the character that Will Smith played in that movie that Sony Motion Pictures hired me to do what's called a satellite media tour across the world. And I did 550 radio, television, print, newspaper, etc. interviews over the course of 2 years to get people excited to go see the movie Hitch. One of the things that I teach, and what he does in that movie, I do every single day of my life. So I'm lucky enough, like Tish, to travel around and speak at colleges and corporations and military things, but I also coach people one-on-one. I had 2 earlier this morning. One of my friends who has a date tonight in Las Vegas, he's so nervous, I honestly think he's going to have to wear a Depends to his date tonight. It's so cute. He's so excited. This is the first thing that I teach every one of my clients the first day that I actually meet with them. It is called the 5-minute find. It is called the ABCs of initial interest. Just out of curiosity, how many of you are currently single? Hands down. How many of you are happily single? Happily single. Hands down. Moderately happily single. Not all that happily single. Dude, I'm at your session, help me single. Anyone? All right. What do you look for in the first 5 minutes that you meet someone? The first thing you look for is attraction. They don't have to be drop dead gorgeous or handsome to you, but you shouldn't be repulsed by them. You shouldn't want to take off when you see them. That's a bad sign. The B stands for believability. In the first couple of minutes you spend with that person, do their words seem sincere and true and genuine, or does it feel like they're lying or fabricating or trying to top everything you say? Just out of curiosity, how many of you in this room have ever met someone and in the first couple of minutes you met them, they made your skin crawl? Anybody ever meet someone? Wave to each other. Misery loves company. Did you want to spend more or less time with them? How quickly did you want to get out of their presence? Now. The C stands for chemistry. Chemistry is every type of attraction for another person except physical. Could they put a smile on your face? Did they make you laugh? Was eye contact easy to maintain? Did you kind of wish that time would slow down because you were enjoying being with them? That's chemistry. The D stands for desire. It's not the desire to marry them. It's not the desire to partner up. It's not the desire to mount them. It's a desire to get to know them better. So even in this short period of time, something just happened. I'm going to tell you 2 things about this program. Number 1, I now consider us friends. If you can sit through my program, I can be there at the other end of my screen for you going, yes, here's your help. Okay, I don't have some team of people going, tell him this, tell him that. It's me. And number two, in the future, it could even happen later today here at this conference, you're going to be meeting someone somewhere. And I don't mean you're chit-chatting. You're meeting someone somewhere. And you're looking around for your friends, but they have ditched you. That's what friends do. They ditch. And so all of a sudden, you're meeting someone else, and you're thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, I'm all alone. You're going to stop yourself and think, no, I'm not. David's here. And I'm going to be on your shoulder, and I'm going to be lighter and invisible, and I'm going to ask you 4 quick questions. So, do you find them attractive? Yes. Do you believe them so far? Is there chemistry? I think so. Is there desire? Yes. If there is, spend up to 1 hour of social time with that person. Why only 1 hour? What if you misjudged? What if they're not the right person? You're looking at your watch going, why won't this move? My hand is in the air. Anybody in this room ever misjudge, end up with the wrong person, even just socially, looking at your watch, hoping that time will disappear, time won't move? Ever been there? But everybody in this room, show me how fast an hour goes with the right person. 3, 2, 1. Like that. Then one of you gets to look at the other person and say, man, that time really flew by. Would you like to do something else? And you get to hear 3 of the greatest words in early dating. I'd love to. Then only 1 more hour. Why? It can still turn ugly, and you always want to leave people wanting what? Very nice. We are coming up on the number 1 most prevalent dating breakup season on a college campus. We are rapidly approaching it. And before I teach you how, and by the way, my hand is already in the air. I would have never met Tina had I not gone through a horrible breakup 5 or 6 years ago that I didn't see coming. I know it's hard. How many of you in this room have ever been through a bad breakup? Okay. How many of you have seen friends or family go through one? Before I teach you how to get through a bad breakup, and I am clairvoyant, so I'm going to tell you when most of your breakups are going to happen. Number 1, the biggest breakup period of time on college campuses happens right after Thanksgiving. It is called the turkey drop. And here's what it sounds like. One person went to one campus, one person went to another campus, or one person went to campus. Somebody had high school to finish. I love you. I love you too. We can do this. I know we can. This distance thing sucks. I know. I met someone. I did too. We're toast. I know. It's called the turkey drop. They happen. The second biggest breakup period of time, right after Valentine's Day. Why? Because we are stupid enough as a society to allow a Hallmark holiday to act as a barometer on how well our relationships are going. Third biggest breakup period of time, right after spring break. Why? Sometimes things happen on spring break. Students are always like, oh, God. And then sometimes couples go on spring break together, and that doesn't go very well. They're walking down the beach, kind of saying, somebody walks by and three people walk by their way going, hey, Terry. Hey, hi. I'm like, how do they know your name? Who? Hi. That doesn't go very well either. The fourth biggest breakup period of time, right before summer break, right before your nice big break. Why? Do you honestly want to be involved in the relationship that isn't right for you with someone who might not be right for you? That's going to be held accountable your whole summer? No. Now, how many of you in the room, just quick show of hands, how many of you have ever been through a bad breakup? How many of you have been through a bad breakup you didn't see coming? It was blindsiding. For how many of you it hurt? Now, don't lie to me. For how many of you it still hurts? I'm going to help you. Why? Because I love you and I can. Here's how to get through a bad breakup. The D stands for distance. Once that person breaks up with you, they no longer get access to your heart, mind, body, or soul. Why? Because every day you let them in here, you're not going to move forward. And then here's the part I can't stand. They're going to turn you, this is you, they're going to turn you into their plan B layaway. Here's what it's going to sound like. Now, how you doing since the breakup? No, I know it hurts me too, yeah. Well, I've been seeing someone new, but it's not the same as you. Blah, freaking blah. If they choose to break up with you, they choose to lose you. If they choose to cheat on you, they choose to lose you. You cannot be friends on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, none of that crap. Why? You cannot let them manipulate your emotions and feelings. It's not going to happen. So, David, what do? I might be preaching to the choir here because you were willing to be here this weekend. You've got to stay active. Get involved on your campus. Get involved in the community. Get yourself out there. Be creative. Get sunlight. Eat well. Why? Because I don't want you to sit around and do what? Think. About who? Them. And you know where your mind is going to take you? Because we are human beings who like to torture ourselves. Your mind is going to take you to the worst thing they could be doing with the worst person they could be doing it with. How many of you have been through a breakup? During that breakup, how many of your minds went to the worst person they could be with, doing the worst thing they could be doing? It probably wasn't even true, but we torture ourselves. The T stands for time. It took you time to fall for someone. It's going to take you time to get over them. But David, how much time? This sucks. It really hurts. There's something that I have called David's rebound ratio. It's how much time I think it's going to take you, and I'll clear myself a little bit out of here. It's how much time I think it's going to take you to begin to get over someone who blindsided you in a bad breakup. I think it's 2 weeks for every month, 2 months for every year. What does that mean? That means if you were dating someone for 2 solid years, 2 solid years, and they broke up with you and you didn't see it coming, it might take you 3 or 4 months before you start to feel human again. What about this? What if they were your first true love? Add time. Your first kiss? Add time. More than your first, add time. And if you won't listen to me, if you won't keep your distance and stay active, it's going to take even more time. What's the E stand for? Exit on your terms. Have you ever stopped to think about, I'm a dating doctor, I think of this crap. Have you ever stopped to think about what someone's actually saying to us when they break up with us? What someone's actually saying to us is, I'm no longer attracted to you. I am no longer romantically interested in you, and I no longer want to spend time with you on a regular basis. Okay, they get what? They get what? Closure. What do we get? Heartbreak, anger, confusion. We might want to send them one last message that lets them know where things stand, and that's okay. I don't mind if you communicate with them one last time, but it cannot be laced with horrible emotion. You cannot start off, you jerk, you bit. You cannot do it. Why? Because the second they see all that inflamed emotion, they're going to go, you still hurt. I must be hard to get over. I guess I what? Win. They don't freaking win. Do you know why? Because you're going to keep your distance, you're going to stay active, it's going to take some time, and you're going to exit on whose terms? And you have a dating doctor for a friend, which doesn't suck. Some of you in the room are single because you don't know when you're being hit on. Okay? Some of you are oblivious. Some of you are just a tad out of practice, while others of you are a tad selective. No, don't you hit on me. No, don't you hit on me. Again, I don't care your sexual preference. Get ready to take a couple of notes. These are 9 subtle signs that someone is pretty darn interested in you. Number 1, they will maintain eye contact with you. Men who like women. Women who like women. Something you need to know about women. Women do not maintain eye contact with creepers or people who repulse them. Ladies, do you know why you're so careful with your eye contact? Because you don't want to accidentally give the wrong person a sliver of what? Hope that they have a what? Chance. No, absolutely. Number 2, they will avoid using weak player tactics on you. They will not walk up to you and go, I want you more than I want world peace. Your panties are like a fine onion. They make me want to cry. They're not going to use lines like that. Do you know why? Because when we fall for someone else, when we as human beings fall for someone else, we turn to something called mush brain. Mush brain. How many of you think, before I even explain it, how many of you think you know what I'm about to say? Folks, here's mush brain. Here's the person we're kind of attracted to and interested in. Here's us. Here's them. What is mush brain? We come up and try to talk to them, and it comes out. It does not come out. We go temporarily blind and deaf. We lose our equilibrium. We're careful where we're touching ourselves. Here's what else. We will not make, as human beings, we will not make a ton of extended eye contact into the eyes of someone that we have fallen for. Why? Because we're afraid that our feelings for that person are so transparent that they will see right through us and all the mystery will be gone. So what have I developed? What do I teach my clients? It is called the 3 eye contact method. This is how to let someone know you're interested, all right? Without going overboard, you can always go back and say, I don't know what you're talking about. Here's what it looks like. You make eye contact with them. You look away. A moment later, you reestablished eye contact with that person. You hold that eye contact with them for about the full count of 1,000. Unless you're an idiot, do not look at someone and go, 1,000. It's a quiet thing. 3rd time, you look back at that person, you hold that eye contact till they look away, then you don't look back for a while. Now, it's Circle of Change. I love this place. I've always loved the people I meet here. I got to meet Tish. Okay, so I'm going to teach you the optimal way to use the 3 eye contact method. This is the optimal way. You make eye contact, look away, reestablish, say nothing stupid, look away. You look back one more time and you hold that eye contact. If they're looking, you're looking. The second they turn away, you quickly, and I'd go way over by the door, you quickly change your position. Why? Because in just a second, they're going to look back at where you were and they're going to go, they're gone. But being a human being, they cannot stop there. They must what? Find you. So they will start to scan the room, scan, until you lock eyes and you can look back at them and go, gotcha. Okay? Number 5, they will smile, they will laugh, they will banter with you. They'll be like, your joke sucked. They are still laughing at it. Number 6, they will break the touch barrier. Now, in your wildest dreams and imagination, no one is going to inappropriately walk up and break the touch barrier in some bad way. It's going to look like you. Okay, it's going to look like this. This is you. This is them. This is you. This is them. It's going to look something like this. Shut up. I did not. Don't be that. No. Yes. They will break the touch barrier. Number 7, they're going to check on your immediate plans. Even at this conference, they might have said, hey, I was looking at the conference schedule. It seems like we're kind of done at 8:15. A couple of us were going to think about getting a shower and maybe just hang out down the lobby of the hotel and talk a little bit. Would you be into that? Folks, they want to know for one of 2 reasons. Either to avoid the lobby because they don't want to see you, but we all know that's not the case. And do you know why that's not the case? Because you're a catch. You are a catch. Say these words, please. I'm a catch. Now, instead of being robotic because I asked you to say them, stop for a minute, think about it, and say it like you mean it. Go. Turn to the people on both sides of you. Tell them you're a catch. Now tell them they're a catch. Spread the joy. Spread the love. Look back up. Number 8. They will stay in your presence. We do not hang out with people who are creepers or who repulse us. We don't do that. And number 9, listen up, folks. Number 9 is a big one. They're going to say something like, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your significant other is so lucky. They will then stop and begin praying to whatever God they believe in, hoping that your answer back will be, I don't have a boyfriend. I don't have a girlfriend. What are you thinking? Yes. Okay? This is where you become a part of the show and I give away chocolate I don't have. Who controls relationships? I'm just going to stop for a second. Tish, I know you know this is true. I love coming to Circle of K. You're bright, you're here for the right reasons, you're grounded, and you get involved. You're fabulous audiences, so thank you. So here's your chance to be involved. When you raise your hand, tell me who you are and what school you're from. How many of you have heard me speak before? You can't play. You can't play. No play. The rest of you, virgins who have never heard me speak, you can play. Who controls relationships and why? And before one of you raise your hand and says, David, no one does. It's a loving equal, please. First name. Sergio. Where are you from, Sergio? Very nice. Sergio, I've never seen anybody get, he's like, it's the women. It's the women. Sergio, why do you believe that women are in control? Does your mother control and dominate your father? Sergio, fake chocolate. There you go. Visit Nestle. Okay. First name. Where are you from? Very nice. I'm actually coming to your school next semester, I believe. I'm not sure who brought me in. It's either the program board or Greek life or a combination of other things, but I'll be there and I can't wait to come back. Who controls a relationship? No, you're on your way. Just finish your sentence.
The person that loves the other person less.
The person who loves the other person less. Why do you say that?
Because control means you're being manipulated. You're playing mind games.
Dougie, I like you. What's your major?
I'm a human resources major, but I was also interested in sociology.
you're going to be a very good human resource manager who has a sociology heart. Because the answer is, it's the person who loves, cares, or tries the least that has all the control in a relationship. It's the one who's least invested. Why? Because the one who's more invested, almost always you. Do you know how I know? You're at a relationship program at a conference in California. Okay? You know why else you're here? You're all here because you want to make yourselves better, correct? Want to be the best you can be? Want a great job that makes a good living, that you can tithe to some charity and actually make a difference in the world? You're going to put more into your relationships than the person you're with. And that's going to lead you to something that I call the puppy theory of relationships. How many of you in this room have ever helped to raise a puppy? You've seen a puppy or heard of the concept of a puppy. Okay? During the house training phase of puppy rearage, how many of those puppies pooped or peed on the floor before they could be stopped? All of them. At the moment of the crime, at the moment of the poopage or the peeage, none of us walked up to that little puppy and went, good boy, good girl, do it again. What did we all do? We did not kill the puppy. We spanked its little bottom, we took him by the scruffy little neck, we pushed him in the nose and the spot in the palm, we said, don't do that again on my floor because you will die. I am not suggesting you go back to wherever you live, on or near your magnificent campuses, defecate or urinate on your floor, call your significant other and go, honey, come on over, have I got a surprise for you? No. Say that word. What I am saying is this. That is a dog. If you can't see the screen, get to a spot where you can see the screen. That is a dog accidentally sitting on a cat's head. 3, 2, 1. Poof. All of you, poof. Handsome Joshua, poof. Poof. Everybody, cameraman, poof. Every single one of you in this room, every single one of you is now that cat. How's that feel? Every single day you let someone treat you like that, but they get your heart, mind, body, soul, time, or effort anyway, what will they do to your floor the next day? They're going to crap all over it. Now, I'm about to make a very bold statement. There are some phenomenal presenters and panelists at this conference, so I'm not talking about ego here. It has nothing to do with me, but I believe what I'm about to show you was worth you coming to Circle of Change. If you are mature enough to activate this in your life, I believe what I'm about to show you next was worth you being here, period. If your significant other honestly believes in their heart that you will walk away from them and never look back if they mistreat you or disrespect you, they won't do it. But if the worse someone treats you, the harder you work to keep them in your life, they will do it for as long as they know you. Look inside that box. I'll get out of the way. You get the respect that you deserve, that you demand, and that you desire. Would you turn to 2, 3, 4 other people, look them in the eyes, nod at them, and go, you deserve the absolute best? Would you do that, please? All right, do me a favor. Sit up straight. Shake out those arms. Take a nice deep breath. Take it in. Let it out. I believe in giving up 5 minutes of every one of my programs to the complete and utter control of my audiences. You can ask me anything you want to about men, women, dating, relationships, romance, sex, marriage, divorce, my own life within reason. I will duck nothing. Don't ask me a question that you don't want an honest answer to. That's all I ask. Okay? One of you breaks the ice, the floodgates will open. Men, women, dating, relationships, romance, sex, marriage, divorce, my own life. First name? Jessica. Hello, where are you from? It's nice to meet you. What can I answer for you?
You go so much in depth about that's kind of being the victim in a sense, but what about the other end? Because I've had issues with 3 ex-boyfriends, which are 3 years, 3 years, and 3 years, and none of them can get over me. So I don't know what.
Okay. Now hold on. Name's Jessica, right? Jessica, stand up. It's so funny that you all. It's so funny that you reacted that way, but see, I'm a straight shooter. The reason that Joshua brings me in here, and the reason that 90% of my audiences on college campuses go, I love that guy, and 10% go, I hate his guts, why'd you bring him in, is because I'm honest. Jessica, you're a lovely lady. You handle yourself very well. I met you earlier today for a moment or two. The way you present yourself is professional, yet cordial and enjoyable. People are going to fall for you like a bag of dirt. And most people your age, folks, have not gotten used to rejection. Rejection's like a freaking bridge. You'll get over it. Okay? Let's say, here's what you should say to these people in the future. Let's say his name's David. Let's say you broke up with him. He can't get over it. I think you should actually look at him and say, David, look, it just didn't work for us. But if you can find someone like me, and I'm not a bad catch to date, it looks really good for your future and for mine because you were a good guy too. Why can't it end with integrity high and people feeling good? Why does someone have to be destroyed in the process? If these people won't get over you, you say, look, I enjoyed dating you. It just wasn't right. I didn't feel it, but it needs to stop. Please don't make me make it go any farther. I don't want to have to turn you in. I don't have to do that. You need to stop and move on. If they won't, Jessica, you got to get help. In today's society, you have to get help. You have to go tell someone that this person is stalking you and won't get over you. Laugh all you want. I don't want her to be a statistic. You can sit. Go.
What's the perfect first date?
The perfect first date is, okay, the perfect first date is anything that leads to a second date. All right, that's honestly the answer. Here's what I love about first dates. I don't think a first date should be more than 1 hour in length. I think it should be in a very public location. If you get to 45 minutes of an hour date and it feels like you were together for 5 minutes, you can look at each other and go, gosh, that time flew by. I want to do something else. My perfect first dates, you're going to think I'm crazy. Go garage shopping together. On a weekend, go visit people's garage sales and be thankful that the stuff they're selling, you've never owned. All right? Okay, did you hear what we all just did? We all just started laughing. Whatever the first date is, if it's entertaining, another great first date, bowling. Unless you're a good bowler, you suck. No matter what, you put the shoes on, you're going to have a couple of, and you know what? It takes a little while to bowl, and you can have a little social, you can have something there. Anything that leads. I'm not a big fan of movies. Nobody talks anymore. They're too expensive. And if you accidentally touch each other during a sexual scene, okay, is that a prelude? And then if you go to a really expensive dinner, see, I don't like that. If you go somewhere for something to eat, do something like a Panera where no one walks into a Panera going, I'm spending all day, unless you don't have internet and you go there all day. But the average person wants to go there, grab what they want, and get out. It's a place that you know it's an hour in length. And then have 5 or 6 things that you know you want to talk about. I don't care if you have a card. I think it's actually cute. I kind of like to make sure I'm not a blabbering idiot on a first date and that I have some things. I wrote a couple things down. You did? I did. There's 5 questions I want to ask you. Why are you available to date me? What? Okay? I don't care how over the top or funny. It's an hour, and it should lead to many more hours. But if it doesn't feel comfortable, it's done. Next. Go. How can having sex on the first date affect your future relationships? I'm honest with my answers to things I'm going to be answering here. My worry about it is this. Having sex on the first date sends a very strong message. In most cases, it's a lack of respect. It changes the dynamic. And I'll ask any of you in this room, how many of you want your younger sibling who's really just getting into the dating age, something like that, how quickly do you want them having sex with the person that they just met? Do you really want it to happen like that? Here's what I don't like. In my line of work, people who have sex on a first date, I'm not talking about mature adults who made a decision, they were both sexually attracted, I'm in, you're in, let's be safe, go do it. You're adults, do what you want to do. But I'm telling you right now, in most cases, it's a conquest, not a companion. It's conquest, not a companion. Go. Okay, if you're kind to someone and you continue to be... What's your first name, dear? What is it? Linda, here's what I want you to say to people for the rest of your life. Never mistake my kindness for weakness. Just because I'm kind to you doesn't mean I'm weak-minded and don't know what I'm looking for long term. Linda, you and I could go out tonight and have a wonderful first date. It doesn't mean you're attracted to me or I'm attracted to you. Or we think that because I live in Ohio and you live in gorgeous California that I'll move from the snow. I will. Okay, but it just, people jump to the conclusions that when they have something going nicely on first or second date, that it's something for possibly forever. That's not true. If you don't remember one thing from today's show, if you don't remember one, never mistake infatuation for love. Never mistake. Infatuation is short-lived. The other person could pass gas, it would sound like a symphony to you. Okay? That's infatuation. Whereas over time, their farts smell and you don't want to be with them. Okay? Yes, go.
Okay, hello, I'm Kelly.
Hi.
Okay,
Where are you from, Kelly?
I'm from Texas State University.
Very nice.
State Texas.
Very nice.
Okay, so in a relationship at such a young age of 21
When you notice that you don't have a life anymore. I'm serious. You said it was Kelly, right? Kelly, when we first met, remember? When we first met, I was much younger. I went to Texas State. And when we first met, we really liked each other because I had a life going on, you had a life going on. We found little bits and pieces of time to see with each other. We really got looking forward to that next test message that came through. Gosh, we got to like each other. Now our lives have dissolved into one. I'm going to give you a mathematical equation. In mathematics, 1 + 1 equals what? 2. In a great, wonderful relationship between two people, 1 + 1 equals 1. It takes one whole healthy individual plus one whole healthy individual to make one great relationship. You're a catch. And the reason that you're a catch is because you're lovely inside and out. You have a spirit, you're driven, and you're doing something with your life. What happens with most college relationships? Do you know why they burn out? For some reason, you feel that being in a relationship means you have to communicate and talk all day, every day. No, you don't. Let some time go by. So that the next conversation you have doesn't have to be, I took a dump today. Okay, there's something actually meaningful in your conversations. I think I'm almost done with time with you guys. Go ahead. How do you get a baby mama back? Okay. All right. I'm going to answer you very honestly. What's your first name? Listen up, please, for me. First name? Kenny? Kenny, and I don't want you to open up and bare your soul in front of this audience because I have a break between the shows and I'd like to talk to you personally. But I'm going to give you some what ifs. You and a baby mama could have had a night of passion where you both got off after each other, were like, hello, baby. You and the baby mama could have been together 6 months or a year and you fell in love, now there's a baby mama. But she was in no way ready to be in a relationship or be a mama. I don't know what's going on with you, but you can't get back someone you didn't have if there was no baby. Do you understand what I'm saying? If the baby is holding a couple together, babies aren't glue. They're human beings, all right? And they deserve two parents who are totally in love and in love with them. So if you want to talk to me while I'm at this conference, I will help you. Folks, I forgot to tell you one thing, and I just don't want to forget to bring it up. Over on the table, on the right far end toward the door, I maybe have 30 or 40 copies. I don't have that many. This is a DVD of me doing a version of this show in front of 3,000 people in Boston. I'm selling them for $10 here at the conference. That's all. And all that money, there's a family in the Cincinnati area. When I'm not on a college campus, I am doing something for our military. There's a military family in need desperately, especially around the holidays. I am giving all the money raised while I'm here, and I have one more show to that family a couple days before Thanksgiving so that they can have a great Thanksgiving. So if you... Thanks for them. If you want one, grab it off the end of the table, and I'll be happy. And if you can get the cellophane off. If our country was as well protected as my DVDs, the cellophane almost, we'd have a great country. Let me cover one or two more things, and then I have to let you go because the other group has to come in. Let's talk about friendship. Friendship is a very iffy thing in life, and especially on a college campus. Why? Because you all spend too much time together. Okay? People ask me all the time, David, can I be friends with my ex? And let's be honest, don't lie to me. How many of you in this room have a friend? You'd love to be more than friends with that person, but you have no idea how to approach it without screwing up the friendship. Okay? How many of you know someone else in that position? Oh, isn't that funny? Now everyone does. Okay? Let's say this is your friend. You'd love to be more than friends with them. It has to be done fun-lovingly. You cannot walk up and go, so... do you believe that what we have could transcend? No! Have fun with people. I want you to look at them and go, have you ever thought about us being more than just friends? If they look at you and go, no, you immediately look back at them and go, oh, me either. Wouldn't that be awful? And you keep doing what you're doing. But if you look at them and you go, have you ever thought about us being more than just friends? And they look back at you and go, yeah, I have. I'd stop right then. I'd look them in the eyes and go, I'm thinking about it now. Oh, David, I could never do that. I'd have to change my depends. Then change it. Because if you are physically attracted to someone, romantically interested in them, or they can make you jealous by what they say or do. If you are physically attracted to someone, romantically interested in them, or they can make you jealous by what they say or do, you can't just be friends. And then sometimes people will fall into what is called the friend zone. What is the friend zone really, folks? It's unrequited love. Either they have real romantic feelings for you or you have them for them, and it's not requited. You don't feel the same. You don't owe anyone anything. You're allowed to have types. All I would say is we should learn how to let other people down. If someone walks up to you, and gentlemen, I'm going to give you an example. It happens to me all the time. I will have gay men walk up to me and say, look, I'm very interested in you. And this is before I was married even. And I'd say, look, that's very flattering. Thank you for being attracted to me. I'm straight, but that means a lot to me. Thank you. Why can't they be allowed to walk away with their dignity? You're not going to see them again. Why does it have to be a hurtful thing? We need to learn how to let other people know that we were thrilled and flattered that they found us attractive, but for maybe one or another reason, we don't feel the same way in return. And don't they deserve someone who feels that way in return? Absolutely. Let's talk about sex. Gentlemen, where are you at? You're in your sexual prime. A man's 18 to 35, 37, 39. That means at least one guy in this room is so tightly wound up sexually, you could walk out of this building, get hit by a strong wind, and be pretty darn happy about that. Ladies, you're not going to hit your sexual primes till you're 26 to 45, 47. Hello. Hello, Tish. You're on it, Tish. That means that there are some women sitting in this room right now thinking, whoa, if this isn't my sexual prime, where on earth am I headed? And you might be right. Arousal. Gentlemen, we primarily, especially at the age that you are, and I don't care if you're straight, gay, or bi, you get aroused visually. Okay? It's why porn is such a big, huge, hairy deal for college-age men and men up to their 40s. It's why the number one male sexual fantasy for men, whether straight, gay, or bi, does not matter, involves multiple people. Why? The more there are to see, the more there are for me. I like numbers, okay? Ladies, you're a little different. Ladies, you also get aroused visually, but you get aroused through your ears, through music and through words, through touch, and through your sense of smell. Last thing I'll cover with my time, and then we'll let you have dinner, is this. Number one complaint to my website last year, was from women. Women's biggest complaint, why are men such horrible physical lovers? And I came to our defense, gentlemen. Now, isn't it interesting? Not one woman said, why are women horrible lovers? Not one man said to me, why are men? I believe that when we're making sex to someone who we are the same sex, we tend to do things that we enjoy, hope they enjoy them, and at least we've got a starting point. But sometimes men and women just don't communicate. And so I interviewed 5,000 college-age women, and I asked them one question. What can men do to get a clue? How can men become better lovers? Out of those 5,000 women, over 700 were lesbian. And I thought, if she can bring her that much pleasure, we should learn from that. And I'm telling you, this isn't just for men right now. I'm going to teach this whole audience in the last minute I have about making love. Sit up straight, shake out those arms, take a nice deep breath. You are not to practice this tonight back at the hotel because I don't want to hear that we have more delegates 9 months from now. Do you understand? Number one. Fingertips. More than 400 women said, I love it when my boyfriend or girlfriend takes each one of my fingertips slowly into their mouth and pulls their mouth off. One of two things is going to happen. You're either going to have to pull them down out of the ceiling tiles because it worked, or they will say, Lassie, go home. Number two, palms and wrists. Hey, your palms and wrists are incredibly sensual, but you're not a St. Bernard on a mountainside. It's nibbles and touches, gentleness. Number three, one lip at a time. Would you all look at me? Everybody look at me. Put away your French kissing drill bits of a tongue. Put them away. Kiss one lip at a time. Kiss the corners of their mouth. Kiss their cheeks. Kiss their eyelids when they're closed. And you don't do this all at once. You're not Woody the Woodpecker. Back of the neck. How many of you have heard the saying, the hair stood up on the back of my neck? Did you ever hear it? Do you know why? Because per square inch, the most nerve endings on the neck are not in the front of the neck where we start kissing. They're not on the sides of the neck where we get to and we're like, They're on the back of the neck. So remember this. If you start in back, you'll be invited back. Okay? Not that back. Last thing. Toes. Over 150 women said toes. Hell yes. Kiss my toes, lick my toes, suck my toes. Now, I see some of you are going, ew. Ew, 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 ew. There's at least one or two women sitting here right now thinking, oh, do it now. Belly button. The belly button is far, far, far too close to other things happening for some people. Holding closely from behind. Quite a few women, over a couple hundred, said they love it when a boyfriend or girlfriend sneaks up behind them, holds them from the waist, pulls them in, and says something or does something sweet. Last thing I'll share, and then I'll let you get some food, is this. Small the back. Small the back. The number one mistake, I don't see... you can put on Marvin Gaye, baby, go ahead. I don't care. Number one mistake, a little bit lower. Number one mistake that I see men make, I don't see two women, I don't see two men. The number one mistake I see men make in public with women, when you are kissing a woman in public, gentlemen, your hands have a tendency to go on archaeological dig and expedition all over her body. I have a suggestion. No. Here's what I want you to do. All of you, you want your next kiss to be unbelievable? To make your boy or girlfriend wonder what the hell you learned at Circle of Change? Okay? I want you to go back home and do this. I'm right-handed. Keep your dominant hand out. Take your non-dominant hand, put it away. As that kiss begins, you take your dominant hand, you put it gently yet firmly on the small of their back. And as you begin to kiss them, you bring them slowly towards you and up, towards you and up. And if you look around your row, you will see that most of the people in your row have stopped breathing. Okay? That's my time. It was really nice to get to meet you.